Hello. So today I am trying out a new style of video that I've been thinking about doing, and I thought, what a better topic than to talk about my post Game Awards thoughts. So first, let's get into the best studio of them all, Ryuga Gotoku. My studio is better than yours. It's better than all other studios, Naughty Dog, Astrobot, whoever developed that game, Black Myth Wukong. Ryuga Gotoku is at the top, and no one can tell me differently. They just announced two new projects. Project Century, which I'm a big fan of the Yakuza series, so I'm very excited about that. They also announced Virtua Fighter, and I suck at fighting games, but that means that my studio is getting more support from Sega, so I'm not complaining about that. And wow, they also announced earlier that they potentially could be working on Yakuza Kiwami 3. So it's crazy. My studio, they're cooking. They're cooking hard, and I'm here to eat all of it up. So how exactly do they work on so many games at once? And it's a question that I've thought about for a while, but it's a very simple answer. Ryuga Gotoku actually stands for Reuse Ga Gotoku because they are always reusing assets. And I'm happy that they actually are breaking the negative stigma around it because honestly, I don't really care personally. Like, I've played all of the Yakuza games so far, even the shitty Yakuza 3 PlayStation 2 era gameplay. Yes, I've played them all. And a lot of these new Yakuza games, they are all in the same engine. You know, Judgment, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza, they all reuse the same assets. They all use a lot of similar animations, and they're all based in Kamurocho or Sotenbori. They're all located in the same place. So it's not like you're seeing a lot of things different. But to me, that doesn't really matter. What matters is what is the story that is being told, and is the game good? Like, if you play Judgment, and I'm very excited for Pirate Yakuza, and if you play the Like a Dragon, which is the RPG gameplay of them, you will know that even though a lot of the similar assets are used, these games are very, very different in the stories that are being told. Like, yes, you're seeing the similar characters, but it's just immersing you more in the universe. So I personally don't see it as a bad thing. I think that this could be something that could help a lot of studios, because I feel like a lot of studios feel like with a sequel they have to start from the ground up. And is that necessarily a sequel? I feel like if you're starting from the ground up, I mean, I feel like that's maybe a remake or something completely different, even if it's in the same universe, which that's fine. But I think with a lot of the challenges that the gaming industry is obviously facing lately, I mean, I think that this could just be a good solution for it. And let's get down to the realness. It just means that I get to play more Yakuza games, and I am never going to complain about that. So now let's move on to the more unfortunate part of it. The anti-woke mob is back at it again. So Naughty Dog revealed their new secret project, Intergalactic, which for a normal functioning human like me, I saw the trailer and it looks amazing. I'm very excited for it. I've played all of the Naughty Dog games pretty much till now, even Jack and Daxter, but I haven't had the chance to play Last of Us 2 because I have a PC and there's no way I'm buying a PS5 just for one game, so that's not happening. But apparently that's coming to PC, so I'm very excited about that. But this game, the trailer really set the tone, and I'm very excited to see what Naughty Dog is cooking, because in my eyes, for the standards of like graphics and gameplay and just like hyper realism in gaming that isn't like stupidly monotonous and makes it just completely hard to make a game in like a reasonable development time, I think Naughty Dog is one of the top studios along with like Rockstar or like Elden or From Software. So I think that I'm just very excited for this. But unfortunately, they made the small mistake of casting a black woman that does not have long hair, because a lot of gamers looked at this woman and was like, oh my god, she's not blonde and has blue eyes, so how am I going to play this? How am I going to goon? How am I going to... I don't understand what I'm going to be able to do here. I can't play this game. So with some of the tweets that you can see here, you know, just people being very, very upset about it, I think that it's stupid. So, you know, going on The Witcher 4, there's just a lot of craziness going on right now. Normally, I don't care, but the Witcher 4 one kind of surprised me because when I saw the trailer, I was just like, wow, like Ciri, she looks good. But I go on the worst app ever created after, well, I guess after Elon Musk bought it, but I went on Twitter and I just saw a bunch of people like complaining about how she looks, and I'm like, are my standards lowering? Like, is Ciri not looking very attractive in this game right now? I'm very confused right now. Like, is she not feminine because she's not in the kitchen cooking or something like that? Like, can women not look badass and look hot at the same time? But I mean, I think, well, I know that a lot of these guys are afraid of any woman that would challenge any of their thoughts. So I think that it's just the fact of they're afraid of strong women. Unlike me, you know, I would love for a woman to lift me up and throw me across the room. That's a joke, kind of. So I've come up with a couple of verbs. Nope, not verbs. I'm stupid. Adjectives to describe these people. See, I'm just as stupid as them. I've come up with a couple of adjectives to describe these people. They are losers, they're homosexuals, they're scoundrels, they're brain dead mongrels, they're dunces. I put homosexuals twice because I don't understand what is their hatred for women that aren't built like what real women actually look like. And even if they aren't exactly what you look like, going so hard to say that they are not women and they're disgusting and stuff like that, I actually think that they are really just attracted to men and they're just projecting. But going off of that, they're airheads, paint sniffers, voluntarily miserable, and obviously broke because they're doing rage bait on Twitter for those $50 Elon Musk checks that probably are going to start running out now that he is going into office and he did exactly what he wanted to do, and now he's just going to get more money and all of them will be sad, but they will also still praise him for stealing all of their money. So just refer back to some of the other adjectives. So, you know, I'd like to give a personal thank to Elon Musk. I thank you so much. Twitter was a great app. It was an app that I knew was toxic, but I loved using it. But you have single-handedly killed my Twitter addiction. Not fully. I still use it every now and then, but I don't use it as much as I used to because it's just not fun anymore. It's just annoying to use the app and listen to people always do rage bait and always just talk about nonsense or not actually try to come up with anything creative or funny. So yeah, you know, just thank you, Elon Musk. I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best. Thank you. And so lastly, now I want to talk about the Black Myth Wukong stuff, things. Yeah, that sounds about right. I wanted to talk about the Black Myth Wukong director pretty much just undermining Astrobot's victory, and I think that it is just crazy because, I mean, Black Myth Wukong, congratulations to them. My friend actually told me that it is pretty much the first AAA game out of China, which is crazy because China is very heavily regulatory on video games and anything in general. It's honestly insane, and I'm very happy that I do live in a country where I can play a game like Call of Duty and not be hounded on. But the director came out and said that I'll just go off the quote. The games nominated this year were all excellent, but I didn't really understand the criteria for this year's Game of the Year and felt like I came here for nothing. That to me is just crazy. Not only did Black Myth Wukong win awards, so obviously they didn't come there for nothing. There were people like Video Game Donkey who did not win any awards, and I'm sure that he doesn't feel like he went there for nothing. I mean, maybe he did, you know, maybe he'll make a video about it, I don't know. But that's just so stupid. Black Myth Wukong has sold very well. It's highly critically acclaimed, and they're the first AAA game out of China. Why do they care so much about Jeff Keighley's award ceremony? Like, who cares? In this industry of gaming where people are getting laid off, AI is being integrated into gaming, like all of these bad things are happening, and you go in and you create a great passion project, something that, you know, obviously it's not like fully, you know, original, you know, it does borrow a lot of its inspiration from Dark Souls, which isn't a bad thing or anything like that, but you have created something that is successful and people are playing your game and people love it, people support it. Like, you've done it. There are developers out there that work hours and hours and hours with very little pay or support that would do so much to even get a fraction of the success that Black Myth Wukong has gotten. And I understand putting your all into a project and not getting an award or not getting the recognition that you think it deserves, but at the end of the day, you have created something that will be a sustained memory in people's lives, and you have created something that people love and enjoyed, and also at the end of the day people have paid good money to play that. So I just personally don't understand why they would say something like this, or why he feels that this is just a right thing to say, at least publicly. I mean, I don't understand why they would say it publicly. I mean, this is something you could say in private with the other devs at your company. But, we live in an age where people love saying whatever online and being honest, so who cares? But at the end of the day, me personally, I'm happy that Astrobot won. I played the game a little bit. I got to play a demo of it at a event, and it was very fun. And I was like, "Wow, this is good." When I saw it for Game of the Year, I was like, "Well, this is the first big platformer not made by Nintendo," and I think that that's just awesome. And going off of that, I think if you look at what the Astrobot people said when they went on stage, and obviously they can't say Nintendo, but they pretty much went up there and thanked Nintendo for pretty much keeping the platformer genre alive. And you look at these guys who, again, not undermining what they made, but these guys who immediately think about themselves and want to criticize and say all of this stuff. Like, I think it just goes to show that, for me at least, I'm happy that the seemingly more humble people won the award than the people who think more about their ego than the industry as a whole. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And remember, the best way to negate rage bait is to just ignore it. Don't quote tweet it, don't like it, don't do anything. Just ignore it and go about your day. Now I just realized I made a whole video talking about rage bait, so I kind of counteract my own point. Well, have a good day.